All right. Good evening, everybody, and happy Sunday. This is Lori Charette, Pro 7 with LifeVantage, and I'm here to do our Sunday training. And we're so happy to have you join us this evening. If this is your first time, welcome. And I'm going to go ahead and get started since we're running just a little bit behind. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to go over some housekeeping, because this is a short month for February. And we want to make sure that everybody's numbers are looking good, right? And so we've got 4 days left. And what I want to do is make sure that you go back and you have your $40 PV, your personal PV, a minimum of $40 to make sure that you're qualified for commission, and likewise that you have 200 in volume, so you have so you're 100% commissionable, right? So you can get the full commission of 40%. I said 100% commissionable, but so you gain the full 40% commission. When you're on your home page in the bottom left-hand side, there is our qualifications section, and when it says 200 and it's green, it is sharing with you that you have 200 of your personal volume, but make sure you click on it so it is showing that your personal volume of 40 is on there. If it says 0, then then you don't have your personal $40 requirement, is the word that I'm looking for. So it doesn't, just because it's green, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's showing that you have your $40 requirement for your personal PV, okay? So make sure that you do that. Also, you can go into the download to your downline genealogy and go over after the 25th and look at the last order date. And if there's anybody that hasn't ordered in February, go ahead and pick up the phone and just give them a quick message and say, hey, I see that your order didn't go out for February, because a lot of times you'll see that there are orders pending. They're in red and they're trying to go out, but generally when that happens, it's kind of the expiration on their credit card has passed and they're not aware of it. But a lot of times there's money left on the table when that happens. So I just wanted to share that information with you, get that out of the way to make sure that you don't forget to make sure that those items are done, since we are looking at a short month, okay? My subject tonight is going over the invite. And so basically what I have put together is a quick cheat sheet, so to speak, that I use with my team. And it's just a simple way that you can even put it on your cell phone and have it. So what I'm going to share my computer screen. You can get on there and take a photograph of it, but this is something that you can put on your phone. So you just have a quick reference of a very simple way of doing the invite, okay? So let's share my screen here. All righty, heads up, we all can see that, yes? Hopefully it's showing up pretty good. Okay, so what I've done is I put together, just like I said, a quick little cheat sheet. And I'm going to read this over to you. Does everybody can see me okay? I want to make sure that you can see all right. Thumbs up, somebody. You can see my screen? Okay, thank you, thank you. Wasn't even sure if you could hear me. Alrighty, so basically what we're looking at here is it's going to be just a simple invite, but this is something that you know that you want to cater to make it your own, because you certainly want to be authentic and you certainly want to sound like you. If we're robotic, then they're going to be onto us, right? They're not going to we're not going to capture their attention if they're wondering who it is that's talking the way that they're talking and not being themselves. So what I have here is, and I'm going to kind of read this through here, you guys. I've been writing, wanting to connect with you, or based on what you said, I'd like to. So a lot of times when we're having a conversation with somebody, they're going to say something that generates an opportunity. If we kind of have our antennas up, right, they're going to say something that's going to generate an opportunity for us to say, oh my goodness, I need to share this with them, right? And so listen to them, engage in that conversation, and then, you know, don't jump on them all of a sudden. But when you have, if you happen to have a moment in that conversation, yes, but sometimes it may be you reach out to them afterwards and say, you know, based on that conversation that we had last time, you had mentioned something, and, okay? So sometimes it doesn't always have to be at the moment, right? We don't want to get too anxious that we're coming on too strong. So I want to connect with you and share with you what I'm currently doing. Or I'd like to share an important ABC investigative report with you. Because you mentioned something that they talked about, or because you mentioned something about, I heard about something, or, you know, you're going to tell them, I recently heard about something that I feel will benefit you or have an impact on your circumstances. I'd like to tell you, I'm sorry, and I haven't reached out to you sooner because what I have to share with you is super important. I do want to share with you that sometimes people say, gosh, I just don't want to come across pushy. And what I've shared with people is like, you can actually, this is going to sound funny, you can actually do that as long as you call yourself out. And so what that sounds like, or what that looks like, would be, you know what, I'm going to push you on this a little bit because it's that important. So if you literally just call yourself out, then you literally you're giving them heads up that, hey, I'm gonna reach out to you until we get a time where I can get this information in front of you because it's that important, okay? But I would like to share an ABC investigative report with you that is having a huge impact on our health. I'm sure when you see it, you will understand why I'm excited. But if not, you will definitely know someone who can benefit from this information. That right there basically is my standard invite, you guys. And the reason why I put it together this way is because what it does is it allows us to not be connected to the person that we're talking to. Meaning, I'm not connected to their answer, okay? So a lot of times we're so worried about being rejected. But if I can say to them, but if not, you're definitely going to know somebody who can benefit from this information. Now I'm already asking for the referral. So we have that separation. The other thing is that they're also thinking, oh my goodness, if somebody else is going to definitely be interested, then I better take a look at this, right? The other thing that you'll see in that invite, I personally don't care for saying it may or may not be for you, because human nature is weird. When people say, if we were to say it may or may not be for you, in my opinion, I just planted that seed in their head. Subconsciously, they're going to say, it's not for me, right? Just subconsciously, it's going to happen. So I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still doing, giving them the out. I think you're going to be excited, but if not, you're definitely going to know somebody who can benefit. In my opinion, this is just forward, pushing them forward or leading them forward into that conversation so we can get that appointment set up, okay? And so what you're asking for and what we're trying to do is set up an appointment, because generally now is not the time. Rarely when we reach out to somebody, that moment is not the time. And so what we're trying to do is set up an appointment. So when we know that before we're doing the invite, we can totally be have that total relief, because and let go of that pressure, because we're not, less is more. All we're trying to do is set up an appointment. We're trying to set up an appointment with the least amount of words possible. So there should be no pressure in the invite. Does that make sense? That's what we want to do, okay? So what I'm trying to do is find out, when can you be in front of your computer? When are you available to take a look? I believe that this is going to get your attention like it did mine. What's a good time for you? Or let's meet for coffee. Something to the effect, okay? We're just trying to connect with them, whether it's via kneecap to kneecap, in their home, your home, coffee, over the Zoom, over phone, whatever it is. But what you're trying to do is not leave it wide open. I'd like to set up an appointment. When can we connect? I'm looking forward to chatting with you. Instead of leaving it open-ended, say something like this. How does Tuesday or Wednesday look for you? Or how is Friday or Saturday? Know what your schedule is and throw a couple dates out, because instead of saying what's a good time for you, the natural response is, oh my goodness, I'm so busy, or this month is really bad, reach out to me next month. How many times have you guys heard that, right? But if you say, how about Tuesday or Wednesday, then now they're concentrating on either Tuesday or Wednesday, right? We just totally bypass that. And they may say, well, Thursday. And then you're going to say, wonderful. And when they do, pull out your phone and go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and set this up on my calendar. And so they see that you're scheduling that appointment, and hopefully they're doing the same with you. Let's get this on the calendar, okay? So what I shared here below is what that's telling you is being able to say, hey, I've got something really important I want to share with you. I just learned about something I'm super excited about. It's allowing you to be very direct and have that posture that we're talking about. So if you're feeling apprehensive or you're feeling lack of insecurity, right? If you feel insecure, what I want you to do is focus on the information, because I know that you are very secure in the products and knowing what you know about the products and the studies and the science and the company, right? We're very confident about that. So that's where what I want you to think of when you're doing the invite. Think about how amazing this information is and how much they need to hear about it. Sometimes I share with people, if you had the cure for cancer, who would you tell? And the bottom line is we wouldn't hesitate for a second. We would be running up and down the street, screaming it at the top of our lungs to everybody, right? We wouldn't hesitate. I know that we don't have the cure for cancer, but we've got something equally as important, right? We've got the next best thing. So if you can have that mindset in understanding the urgency of this information and getting that information out, that might help you as well with that confidence level and the posture in doing your invite, okay? So it allows us to be direct. It allows us to let them know how important it is and that we want them to watch an ABC investigative report. I personally always say an investigative report because they'll perk up and go, oh, really? I mean, it just sounds very, very important. I don't like the word video because then it sounds like, in my opinion, a video like anybody else has got, something that our company threw together. I just feel that we have something that is filled with validation and we need to elevate it by stating an ABC investigative report. Now we don't sound just like everybody else, right? It's another one of those things because they've got a video, right? I share with them that it's an ABC investigative report. That sounds very important, and they're going to want to hear what it is. We also, by sharing that that invitation the way that I have it laid out up above, it lets them know we're kind of doing the takeaway like I'd mentioned, and then we're shifting our attention from them to a referral. So we're doing the takeaway as well as we're getting the referral. So the referral part is for us as well as it is for them, because we've got them thinking, oh my goodness, it's that important that, you know, that somebody else is going to want to hear about it. And then we are not connected to the person that we're talking to because we're asking and focusing on that referral. So hopefully that will help you out, you guys. It's making them curious. They'll want to know what we're so excited about, and they won't feel pressured. And so I do have down here at the bottom, I want to make sure that we can see this okay. Let me raise it up here so make sure y'all can see it. I recently learned some important information in regards to our health. It pretty much blew my mind, and I believe that you will feel the same. But if not, you're definitely going to know someone who can benefit from this information. It's a pretty big deal. I just heard about it. So I'd like to connect you with someone who can share the details and answer your questions. When could we connect in the next couple days? These are just kind of different opportunities or different ways of saying the same thing. I just learned about a medical breakthrough product in the healthcare industry. People are making a ton of money with it. Would you like to hear about it? These are just showing you different ways that you can tweak it to make your own, and or tweak it to connect with the person who's in front of you. Because not always are we wanting to talk to that person because of the product, right? A lot of times, like in my situation, I needed to hear about the opportunity. So you can tweak it and cater it the way that you need to fit the person that's in front of you. And the main thing that you want to do is you want to have high energy. You want to be positive. You want to make sure that you listen, ask questions, build trust, provide a solution, and set up an appointment. All right. So I am going to go ahead and stop my share here. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest, another leader here that's going to share the benefits of the Vitality Stack. And we have Dr. Jess Bueller. I want to go ahead and get her on board here. So make sure that I get her. Bear with me, you guys. I'm looking for you. I got to give her the.
I think they might be able to hear
yes,
me.
yes. How did you do that? Okay, I thought I had to turn over. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, you guys. So we have the honor of having Dr. Jess Bueller. I absolutely, you can see me glowing because she's part of my team. I'm so grateful to have her in our business. And she is a wife and a mother of 5, including a brand new little one, sweet little one that we had the pleasure of being able to meet over in Charleston. And she's a healthcare entrepreneur. Jess is a board certified doctor of chiropractic with additional certifications in NATE and acupuncture. She enjoys helping others discover natural alternatives to take control of their health and become a better version of themselves. And so she has a very strong heart and passion about our products. And take it away, Jess.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure all of you know the basic science information related to the products. So I'm not going to get too in depth. But my goal is to hopefully encourage you to be encouraging the entire Vitality Stack. I hope when you get done that is sort of what you're getting from me, is that all of the pieces of the stack are important, which is why they're put in a stack. So I'm going to give you little bits on each of the products, and then why, from a physician standpoint, why I feel everyone should be on the whole stack. And the only reason why they would not be on the whole stack would be an allergy to some of the components. Some people have a true allergy to omega-3s or any of the components, because you can be allergic to anything. But if you had a true allergy to any of the components, that would be one reason to not take all of them. And the other would be that is cost. But if you're predetermining that they'll have an issue with cost, and you're suggesting that for cheapness that they go with less, I wouldn't do that. I would recommend what you recommend to begin with, and then if they suggest that they cannot, that they can't afford that, then you go down with the products. So it's sort of like a prejudging, like we do when we're making our database, right? Even if you try not to, in some way you're thinking, you know, whether you're thinking from a health standpoint, you're thinking products for them, or you're thinking from a business standpoint, or they're health minded or whatever. We're doing some kind of prejudging, but everyone still needs to hear about it, and then you let them decide what they're going to do with it, whether they're interested in all of it or none of it, or they know somebody who is. So same thing with the products. Let them know what's there, and then let them decide what they want to do with that. So with the stack, we really can address 4 really huge issues that affect or impact almost everyone. So rarely will you actually come across someone that doesn't have an issue with these 4 things. So the one product I've recommended from in utero until death has been omega-3s. So when we came out with our Omega Plus product, it was great. And we not only put the 2 omega-3s, EPA and DHA in it, but we counterbalanced that with omega-7s for weight management and metabolism, which is such a huge thing with the majority of the population being overweight. And then we also added the plus, which was vitamin D, which majority of people are at least minorly deficient in. So omega-3s become incorporated into every cell membrane in your body. If you think of this on a simple level, what are we? We're 37 trillion cells. So we want to find ways to impact all of our cells. And that is what our stack does. So the one component with omegas, fatty imbalance, that's what we're addressing. And with these, when we ingest these good fats become incorporated into our cell membranes, and it makes it so that our cells can communicate better. So whether you're talking cells in your brain, which are all fatty cells to begin with, or you're talking the cells in your digestive system, in your heart. In your heart, it's a muscle. We want it to pump and be fluid. In our brain, we want those neurotransmitters to bounce off of each other at a really fast speed. When we're talking digestion, we want things to go down smoothly and come out smoothly. When you're talking your skin, you want that hydration. So really, it doesn't matter what system you're talking about. When you're talking about a cell membrane, you want it to be fluid and you want it to be full of good fats. So that's our Omega Plus. The other thing I used before I joined this company too, we're good bacteria, probiotics, a good probiotic supplement. Everyone needs this. Why? About 75% of your immune function comes from these good guys in your gut. The digestion and even more importantly, absorption of your food, the connection between your gut and your brain, your neurotransmitters, your dopamine, your serotonin are all produced in your gut, and so much more. So our gut health is huge. We know it's huge. So we need these good guys in there to help us. So what sets ours apart are the 2 things that you're going to need to know to be able to say why ours is different, why ours is better, right? Our BioHACK lining, so that it bypasses our stomach acid and gets deep into the small and large intestine where we want those good bacteria to do their job. And then also that allows for a slow release too. So the ones that are released first belong in the small intestine. They do their benefit in the small intestine. And then in the core of it, you'll find the ones that digest last are needed in the large intestine to produce their benefits. So this is technology that is really smart, you guys, really smart. And then we also have Wellmune in it, which is an added immune system boost. And you can look up Wellmune on its own site as well. It's yeast beta-glucans that are found in colostrums, or a mother's first milk. So you get this 1-2 punch of good bacteria plus the Wellmune. And then I'm going to sidetrack off the Vitality Stack. Now then we added in our prebiotic product, which is amazing. And I wish we would have had that even sooner, but that's the cool thing, is we get to keep adding. But the prebiotic, if you think of a probiotic like seeds in your garden, and you think of that prebiotic like the fertilizer or added nutrients in your soil, your probiotic will feed on that prebiotic, and it really gets things moving even faster, especially for healing the gut lining with autoimmune conditions, cancers, anything where we've got some metabolic dysfunction. You're going to see huge improvements by having probiotic and prebiotic. Okay, so that's the second thing that we have, is that the importance of our gut health. So we had the fatty imbalance and then our gut health. So the other 2 components are what set us apart from every single other company in the stinking world. So this is where you should pay attention. Again, you want to know what makes us different, right? Because people are getting bombarded with information, whether they see it on the TV, in the newspaper, other direct sales companies. There's a ton of direct sales company, guys. There's going to be more. It's going to keep becoming more, because technology is the way of the future. But when you're talking about cellular activators, what do we have? Well, for one, we have the first NRF2 activator, the first NRF1 activator. We have the only NRF2 activator that has over a decade of research behind it. So just remind yourself, we have the peer-reviewed studies. I've even seen other companies now. I mean, I'm in the health and wellness industry, right? Nutrition companies are constantly trying to sell to me to sell their products. Their NRF2 activators are not nearly as potent, and they use our research as theirs, you guys. They're using ours like it's theirs. It's not. It's on our product. It's not on NRF2 activation in general. It's on Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, our product. We are a big deal. So if you don't realize that, just go in confidently knowing that what we have is something totally different. But again, back to that, if we're 37 trillion cells, what do we want to do to those cells? We want to activate those cells to their highest potential. And we have the two really big things, right? So with our NRF2 activator, we know that we produce antioxidants at that rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second. And we do it in a pulsatile motion, like a wave, right? So it goes up and it comes back down. You don't want to be at a standpoint, at a plateau that stays. You need that pulsatile action because our bodies otherwise would accommodate to it. This is also the reason why you don't need to just stop taking your NRF2 activator. Some supplements, some drugs, you take them for so long, your body gets used to them, and then you need to what? Up your dose or do something different because your body gets so used to it. But we have this pulsatile action that happens with activation, so that's very cool. Another reason why you not only need this every month, you need it every day, and you need it for the rest of your life. So NRF2 activation, we get the detoxification is so huge. Look at our patents. If you're not sure about our products, look at the patents. Anti-inflammatory, detox, anti-carcinogenic, anti-tumor forming. Look at that stuff. Those are the key components. And you don't need to be able to recite all this information off like a physician. You don't. You absolutely do not. All you need to know is that what we have is different. With a supplement, like the first two things I just talked to you about, the Omega Plus and the ProBio, what we're doing is supplementing. We're bringing to the cell something it is deficient in, something it does not have. But what we're doing that's different about activation is we're reading the blueprint differently. We're taking a part of the blueprint, the DNA, and we're expressing it differently than we did before. This is totally different. Think of things on a simple level, right? Bring something to the cell or change what the cell is producing, right? So that these are totally different processes. So with activation, we want to see this. We want to see getting rid of it. We're taking out the garbage faster. Think of these simple ways, guys. We're reducing that cell damage. With our NRF2 activator, we take out the trash more often. Our body starts functioning better. Why? Because we're flushing things out sooner. We're taking care of cell damage. We're reducing inflammation. We're preventing so many things because of why? Because of the reduction in oxidative stress, the reduction in inflammation. So look at those things. We're not a treatment for any condition, symptom, or disease. We're a treatment for cellular issues, right? We are getting to the root of the cellular imbalances. So that's what we want to do. So with our NRF1 activator, we are increasing our production of mitochondria and our production of ATP. And if you look at this, stuff, this is not only for tired people. This isn't just to increase your energy, right? That's a simple thing. It increases energy. Everybody has a product they think increases their energy. You can go on Facebook or the TV and somebody's going to be drinking something that helps them with their energy, or they're doing this for their energy, and some of it's garbage energy and some of it is not. This is so totally different. We are talking about energy on the cellular level. So whatever the cell's job, it does it better. So whether you're a cell in your digestive system, you're a cell in the cardiovascular system, you're a cell in the brain, you're working better. So don't say it like this gives you energy, because that's what everyone else has. We don't want to do that. We want to be really focused on what we have and why it's different. So what happens is that NRF2 protein and the NRF1 protein are both proteins within the cell. We activate the cell by taking our activators, And those proteins attach to our DNA and they cause a different expression of the DNA. And so that's the different, right? That's totally different. We're not bringing it to the cell because it's missing something. We're bringing it to make it show something differently, to activate it to a different potential. So these are the 4 components. We have fatty imbalance, we have gut health, we have mitochondrial dysfunction, and we have cellular damage, oxidative stress. So we want to think about things another simple way would be like having a car with 4 flat tires and only changing 1 tire and trying to drive that car along, right? So how about if you only change 2 of the tires, or you change 3 of the tires? It's still going to be kind of a sucky situation. So the best case scenario, give yourself the benefit of having all 4 of those issues addressed at one time. And what's going to happen? Their changes are faster, their changes are better, their changes are longer. So when you're recommending our Vitality Stack, just know, even if you don't know the science behind it, that we have a board of physicians that do. We have all the research to back it up. We have the patents to back it up. And we know that they're recommending the 4 for what? Because it's important, because there's so many reasons it's important. So if you just think about it like tires, that's kind of a simple way. The car with 4 flat tires, and we all have at least some degree, those tires are either low or they're flat. And the flatter the tire, the higher the need, right? So if they can't afford it, which you're not gonna bring that up, they're gonna bring that up. When they bring that up, then you talk about going less. Otherwise, you recommend the Vitality Stack. Why? Because it's vital. It's vital for all 4 of the biggest problems that people suffer with. So to get to the root cause and really see good and permanent changes, we need to get to the cellular level. And that's what we do with our products. So I know we're kind of at the time, so I'll let Lori finish up, but that's just my thought is when someone brings up the money to you, then you say, okay, well, if you can do all 4, then let's go with 3. And if you can't do 3, then 2, then 1. So you're looking at always wanting Nerf 2. We always want Nerf 2, but there are a few cases where we need Nerf 1 before we need Nerf 2. But you know, we've got Nerf 2, then add Nerf 2, Nerf 1, add the probiotic, add the omega, and then of course, I'm not supposed to talk both sides of the Vitality Stack, but I really think that the 6th thing, or the 5th thing would definitely be Axio, and then prebiotic anytime we know that the gut is an issue, which it is for so many. So that is what I have for you tonight.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys, that right there, when we have doctors on board that are excited, I mean, listen to Jess. She's absolutely excited about what we have, our core 4, right? And why it's so important. So it's amazing to me. That's between the studies and the patents, like she said, when you have over 1,000 doctors that are partnered up with this company and they're excited about it, we've got something to keep to have our hands on. But the other thing is that I wanted to share is that it's all about education, you guys. And like Jess said, there is going to be, or there are copycats that are coming. And it's good to know, for you to understand, that all NRF2 is not created equal, right? All probiotics are not created equal. So remember, it's all about education, okay? So what you don't know, reach out. That's where third-party validation comes in. And I want to say thank you so much for your patience at the beginning. I literally started the Zoom on another channel, so to speak. And so thank you so much. Got me a little bit flustered, but hopefully you got the information on the invite and you were able to take a photograph of that, so that can help you go and create it and make it your own. And thank you. Happy end of month. Go in and make sure that you're qualified, help your team, and we're going to call it a wrap.
Thank you.